40% since 2021, that's your electric bill, not your imagination, and you've been blaming the air conditioner. The dollar amount is real, the story you were told about why it happened. That part is wrong, 3 layers deep. Surface story, it's your air conditioner. It's all artificial intelligence. Real story, 3 layers baked into one bill. The tell, all through last year, electricity rose more than twice as fast as everything else you buy. Bureau of Labor Statistics, not a hot take. We're opening this bill line by line, wires, gas, data centers, every number cited. I run one of these every week, so subscribe now, let's pull it apart. Picture the envelope on the counter, same house, same thermostat, same family, and the number keeps climbing. So you do the reasonable thing, you blame the summer, you blame the air conditioner. Maybe you blame the neighbor's crypto rig. Reasonable, and almost entirely wrong. Here's the anchor number, and it's sourced. The Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks an electricity price index. The one economists actually cite from January 2021 to this spring, it's up roughly 40% over that same stretch. Everything else you buy rose about half that. Electricity didn't drift. It sprinted. So where did that 40% go? Not into one greedy villain. Into 3 separate layers stacked on top of each other. Layer 1 is the wires, Layer 2 is gas, and it's mostly noise. Layer 3 is the one everyone's shouting about. We take them in order. And I know why this one stings. It's the Sunday night math, the calculator in bed, the bill open, the quiet question of where the money keeps leaking. You did everything right. Same thermostats, same habits. The arithmetic still moved against you. That's not a discipline problem. It's a structure problem. So we start where most of the money actually is, and it's the layer nobody puts on a thumbnail, not the robots, the wires, the poles, the transformers, the substations, the 10,000 miles of line between a power plant and your kitchen boring, expensive, and quietly the biggest driver. Layer 1, the grid itself. Every utility is rebuilding old iron at once. Aging wires, storm hardening, new connections. In 2025, utilities spent $214 billion on that build-out. A year earlier, it was $173 billion, a 24% jump in 12 months. That figure, $214 billion, is from Standard & Poor's Global Market Intelligence, October 2025. Here's why it matters to your bill specifically. A utility doesn't eat that cost. It's a regulated monopoly. It's allowed to bill you back for what it builds, plus a guaranteed profit on top. Hold that thought, because building it isn't enough. They must ask permission to charge you. That request is a rate case. In 2025, utilities filed $22 billion in rate increases, the biggest since the 1980s. Source: S&P Global's Regulatory Research Associates, up 35% year over year. A record. Quick honesty check. I spent an afternoon in the actual rate case filings and the Labor Department series. Not a headline, the source. Every number's time-stamped in the description. Tap it if you think I'm bluffing. Now the fair part, I won't oversell it. $22 billion is what they asked for. Not all of it hit your bill. Roughly half of the 2025 requests are already approved and in your rate. The other half is pending. So half landed, half loading. Not a conspiracy. A pipeline. Here's the part that reframes the whole thing. You keep asking who's being greedy. Wrong question. The right question is, what is this system built to reward? And the answer is uncomfortable because nobody's breaking a rule. The incentive is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Follow the wiring for a second. A regulated utility earns its profit as a percentage of what it builds. Build more poles, wires, substations, earn a bigger guaranteed return. The mechanism has a name. Return on equity. At the kitchen table, the more they spend, the more they're allowed to make. Spending isn't the risk. Spending is the business model. Sit with that. It's not a scam. It's a design. We handed a monopoly a guaranteed profit on construction, then acted surprised when it kept finding things to construct. You do the same, I do the same. The wires layer isn't malice. It's math pointed away from you. And this layer is the quiet giant Resources for the Future, an independent group in a 2025 analysis, found the later run-up, 2023 onward, was driven mainly by transmission and distribution. The wires, not fuel, not the news. The unglamorous 40% engine is mostly poles and lines. Surface story here, the power company got greedy. Real story, the power company got permission. Permission to spend and a guaranteed markup for spending. Your bill is the repayment plan on a construction boom you never voted for and mostly can't see. That's layer 1. It's the biggest slice, and it barely makes headlines. But the grid does need rebuilding. Storms are worse, the equipment is old, and some of this is overdue. The catch isn't whether we rebuild, it's who carries the cost and who pockets the return. You carry the cost, they keep the return. Necessary work and a lopsided deal can both be true. So before we ever reach data centers, before a single robot enters the story, the biggest chunk of your 40% is already explained. Old wires, new spending, guaranteed profit. That's the layer the air conditioner crowd skips right past. Now the layer that actually is on the news and mostly shouldn't be. You've heard it. Natural gas got expensive. That's why the bill jumped. It feels right. Gas runs a lot of power plants. Gas prices swing. The bill swings. Case closed. Except when you pull the actual gas data, the story falls apart in about 2 charts. This is layer 2, and it's mostly a ghost. Here's the tension you feel in your own budget. The gas that fuels power plants costs about what it did 5 years ago. Your bill is up 40%. If gas were the villain, those two numbers would move together. They don't. So where's the gap? Back into layer 1, the wires. Let me prove the gas part instead of just asserting it, because that's the whole point of this channel. 2 receipts from the Energy Information Administration, the federal agency that actually meters this. One kills the gas is structurally expensive myth. The other explains the scary spike you saw last winter. Layer 2, gas, the volatility layer. And I want you to feel why it fools people. Gas fuels a big share of power plants. When gas spikes, some bills spike. That part is real. The trick is that a spike and a trend are 2 completely different animals, and almost everyone confuses them. Take the spike you actually lived. January 2026, gas delivered to power plants hit about $10.50 a unit, a genuine record, per the Energy Information Administration. Your winter bill lurched. The cause? Not artificial intelligence, a polar vortex. The agency named the storm system directly. Weather. Old boring weather. Watch what the news never shows, the ending. By April, 10 weeks later, that same gas price had fallen to about $2.87. The spike didn't stick. It melted with the frost. A number that rockets up and drifts back down isn't building your 40% trend. It's noise. Here's the receipt that ends the argument. The Energy Information Administration reported that across 2022 to 2025, fuel costs for generating power were, on average, flat to falling, while your bill climbed all along. Read that twice. The fuel got cheaper, the bill went up. Fuel isn't the driver. Quick pause halfway in. If a number in here doesn't match your own bill, drop it in the comments. The most useful ones become their own video. And subscribe. I run one of these every week, and next week's math finds you automatically. So cross one suspect off the board. Natural gas is structurally expensive, and that's driving my bill. That's a myth. The shocks are real, hurt for a month or two, then reverse. Underneath, the delivered price today sits where it did 5 years ago. Layer 2 makes waves. It doesn't raise the tide. But wholesale gas was up in 2025, roughly by half, year over year. The fine print. 2024 was a near record low. Bouncing off a bargain floor isn't a structural climb, it's a rebound, a 1-year jump wearing the costume of a long-term trend. Don't buy it. Which brings us to the layer everyone came here for. The one on every headline, every hearing, every angry post. The one where the villain finally has a face, server farms humming around the clock, drinking power like nothing before them. And here's the hardest thing on this channel. Be fair to it. So let's be precise. In 2023, data centers used about 4.4% of the nation's electricity, from Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, a Department of Energy lab. Their projection, 6.7 to 12% by 2028. Real, fast growth, but nationally, still a slice, not the whole pie. And here's the caveat honest researchers give. Even Brookings, hardly a fringe outfit, admits pinning down the exact data center share of your bill is genuinely hard. Confidential contracts, cost shifting between customer classes, pandemic distortions, anybody handing you one clean percentage is selling false certainty. So I won't. Here's the evidence instead. Here's where it gets concrete, where fairness cuts the other way. In one specific place, the data center effect isn't a projection. It's already stamped on the bill. That's a regional grid called PJM, 13 states plus Washington, D.C., 67 million people. In December, its power auction turned violent. An auction pays generators to promise power on the hottest day. Across 3 auctions, it rose almost 9-fold, from under $29 to $270 to $329 to $333.44 per megawatt day. The last hit the federal cap, the legal maximum. Who drove the demand? The operator answered in its December press release, not a critic. 97% of this year's peak demand growth came from data centers, 97. Roughly 5,100 megawatts out of 5,250 in that region. This isn't theory anymore. It's the invoice. Independent confirmation. Don't just take the operator's word. Monitoring analytics. The outside monitor, whose job is watching this auction, estimated data centers drove between 40 and 63% of the capacity price increase, depending on the year. Billions in cost, landing on customers in that footprint. Not the operator's spin. The referee's math. Here's where it stops being abstract. In Washington, D.C., Pepco, bills up $21 a month since summer, and per the D.C. Office of the People's Counsel, roughly half, about $10, traces to the capacity spike. Western Maryland, near 18 Ohio, around 16 real dollars, real months, already gone. And it's early. Big Tech is planning $700 billion in artificial intelligence build-out for 2026 alone. Goldman Sachs, the bank, not a blogger, projected it adds about 6% to electricity inflation over 2 years, hitting lower-income households hardest. The layer that started smallest is growing fastest. This is the math your utility doesn't print. It won't itemize data center surcharge on your kilowatt hours. The cost blends into the capacity charge, spread across every customer in the region, whether or not you'd know a server farm nearby. Invisible by design, which is why you go looking for it. Now protect yourself from the overcorrection. The moment people learn this, they blame the robots. There's a viral number going around that's flat wrong. You've seen it. The claim people near data centers pay 267% more for electricity. 267, a myth. Let me show you the seam. PolitiFact rated it mostly false. That figure is a wholesale price index for generators. One input 30 to 50% of a bill, not the retail price you pay. The real retail increase over 5 years is about 42%. Bad enough. True, but 267 got dressed up and sent viral. Here's the honest boundary. It matters to you. If you live inside a data center cluster, the PJM footprint or one like it, the AI effect on your bill is real, measurable, already here. If not, your increase is mostly layers 1 and 2, wires and weather, same country, different bills. One more piece of fairness from the same Berkeley lab that flagged the growth. Data centers aren't riding alone. They're one passenger on a much bigger surge. Electric vehicles, factories reshoring, buildings and industry going electric. The robots are the loudest passenger. They aren't the only one with a hand on the wheel. Two myths buried side by side. It's all your air conditioner. No, your habits barely moved. The structure did. It's all artificial intelligence, also no, real but regional. It can't explain a bill in a town with no server farm for miles. The truth, less tweetable, more useful, 3 layers, different weights, 1 envelope. Don't take my word on the loud one. Open the PJM press release from December. It's linked below. 97%, their sentence, their letterhead, not mine. I'm running the exact query you can run. That's the whole point. You shouldn't need me. You need the primary source, and it's one tap away. Let's stack it. The order is the insight. Layer 1, the wires. The biggest, quietest slice, guaranteed profit on a construction boom. Layer 2, gas. Loud, scary, and mostly a ghost that reverses in weeks. Layer 3, data centers. Real, growing, but concentrated where the server farms sit. One bill, 3 different stories. Here's the twist tying all 3 together, what I most want you to keep. Nobody here is cartoonishly evil. The utility followed its incentive. Gas followed the weather. Data centers followed cheap capital and hungry algorithms. Every actor behaved rationally. The system is built so growth pays everyone except the name on the bill. That's the uncomfortable center of it. Your rising bill isn't a glitch or a heist, it's a permission slip, one you never signed. For a build-out that earns a guaranteed return, hedges nobody's weather risk but yours, and now carries an AI boom on top, working as intended, just not for you. So what do you actually do with this? Because I won't leave you with just outrage. First, read your own bill for the capacity or supply charge, not just the total. That line is where layer 3 hides. Second, find out if you're inside a data center grid. It changes which fight is even yours. Third, the leverage most people miss. The rate cases are public and roughly half of last year's are still pending, not yet in your bill. Public utility commissions hold hearings and take public comment. That guaranteed profit isn't a law of physics. It's a decision made in a room you're allowed to walk into. Start with the simplest move, the one that undoes the misdiagnosis you walked in with. Stop blaming the window unit. Your air conditioner didn't file a $22 billion rate case. It didn't bid a power auction into the federal ceiling. It's taken the blame for a structure it never built. Keep three numbers, only three. 40%, your 5-year climb, mostly the wires. 97%, the data center share of new demand where server farms cluster. And 42, the real retail increase. Not the 267 that went viral. Everything else is detail. Verify those three before bed. One more before the last word. If this reframed even a single line on your bill, subscribe. I break down a different middle-class trap every week. And the next one lands the moment you wake up. Like it. So the next person blaming their air conditioner finds it too. 40% since 2021. That's where we started, and you were blaming the air conditioner. Now you can see the whole stack behind that number. A construction boom you're repaying, a gas ghost that reverses every winter, and an AI build-out landing hardest wherever the servers hum. Your electric bill isn't one villain overcharging you. It's 3 layers agreeing to grow and only one signature on the account that pays for all of it. Yours. That's not a conspiracy. It's an architecture. And architecture is a lot harder to argue with than a thief. So here's the line to keep. They didn't pick your pocket. They built a house where every wire runs to your meter and then billed you for the wiring. Read the bill line by line. The villain was never in the window unit. It was in the fine print. Check your capacity charge tonight. Find out if you're on a data center grid and comment your bill's 5-year jump. Let's see the real spread. Math doesn't negotiate. Don't try.